Hello, everybody. This is Paula Guthrie from Creating Purpose with Pau. I welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Her Network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app on any respective app stores that you might have. Please, while you download the app, rate it and leave a comment because feedback is important to us. The app is totally free, and you can find Zingo TV also on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and all smart TVs from 2016 and forward. Thank you so much for being here. We had some technical issues at the beginning, but that's just part of our new life, right? And
Yes.
yeah, so let me welcome my friend. She is Valencia Densler. She is a detox diva. She is the owner of Detoxtopia in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I welcome you, friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Paola. Thank you so much. My goodness.
Oh,
There's such
yeah.
a lesson in what we just went through. I just can't. Let's explore
Yes, but please tell us about you. Tell us what you do, who you are. Tell us your story so we get to know you more.
it. Okay. Well, my name is Valencia Dantzier, also known as Val, and I am the owner of Detoxtopia, which is a wellness center, small wellness center right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And also, I coach as well with that because I found that a lot of people were coming into my establishment just to sort of relax and get away. And knowing that I've been working on self development myself for all these years, I started conveying different things on them because they not only wanted to relax, but they wanted to relax mentally as well. And so that's what I help people do. And that's my passion. That's what I love.
That's awesome. So, what inspired you to open up your business? Like to exactly do, I'm going to open detox business.
Yes.
Teach me.
Detoxtopia. Detoxtopia.
Detoxtopia.
Yes, detoxtopia. So basically, I've always been entrepreneurial. I always wanted to do that, but I never really maybe had enough courage or the nerve to do it. It was always be something that I would think about doing. And so one day I was taking a walk and um, I was just kind of like having a conversation with God. I call it conversations with God. And he just kind of downloaded some things into my head. He gave me the name of the business, Detoxtopia. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew that I had detoxed myself, and was able to lose a lot of weight and better health. And I knew that my passion was I wanted people to be healthy, right? And so it just started out that way. It was just, this is what I did to become healthy, and I want to help other people to become healthy, right? And at the same time, I was working on my body, but I was also working on my mind at the same time. So I just kept getting revelations and revelations.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. That's awesome. So, what was like the main, the main pull, the main purpose that you say I'm going to do it? Because we all get downloads from the above, from God, and sometimes we don't follow. Sometimes we have self-doubt. Sometimes we might create the dream within the 5-10 minutes, and then time passes and you allow fear to sneak in, and you might think, oh, I just don't know anything about taxes. I don't know where to start or who to call if I get in trouble, if the machine breaks, blah, blah, blah. So what was the purpose, the big purpose that you're like, I'm gonna do this?
Well, I mean, that's valid because I mean, I could have spent, and I think maybe a lot of people, I don't know, they think about things that they can do, but just to have the courage to branch out and do it. But, I was at a point in my life where I had done everything that everyone told me to do, and I wasn't happy with myself on the inside. Even though I had done everything everyone said, do I gone to school? I got that education. I got honors. I worked that job just like my mom, my grandparents. I did everything that I was quote unquote supposed to do.
Hmm.
But in myself, there was an emptiness inside. And, you know, the pandemic, but it really caused a lot of us to kind of look inside, right? And to kind of think about, well, what is this life? What is life all about? And what am I here for? So, I started asking, what's my purpose in life? You know, like, listen, I had lost my parents died. My mom died when I was 7, so I'm an only child. So I had already lost what most people have, a family, right?
Hmm.
So I was, to the point where I just wasn't happy, and I was just like, what's really the point? Or God, why do you really have me here on earth? And so I started thinking about my passion, and my passion was I want people to be healthy, you know? Because I remember I was a little nurse for my mother when growing up. She had diabetes and things, so I was her little nurse. So I remember the needles being in her arm and waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going to Duke University Hospital and she getting on the dialysis machine. And it was a pleasure for me to serve her. Even though I was a little girl,
You were
I
7.
was helping my mommy. I was helping my mommy. So I feel like my purpose came into fruition. I went back to that little girl and I wanted to help people. Like that's the gut purpose for me is to
Hmm.
help people, whether it's
Wow,
helping them physically or mentally, is to help them. And
that's
so the only way that little girl could help her mom was to be the little quote unquote nurse, get the little bandage, make sure mommy was okay. But I remember even at that age, just saying, mommy is going to be okay, and in kind of encouraging her. So I think I went back to that and I said, that's my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I like to do. So, yeah, so your purpose has to be stronger than your fear, because I had already been living a life that I didn't enjoy. Even though people would, oh, you got this, you got, doesn't matter how you feel on the inside. And am I helping the next person?
that's
So,
beautiful. Thanks for saying that because it takes like from our first 12 years of life where like life truly makes an impact. And now you telling me that when you were 7, like way before you were 7, you were already playing the role of helping your mom, being the cheerleader and assisting and telling her, it's going to be okay. And
right.
then now, years pass and then you were kind of lost and you're like, okay, what do I do now? God, please give me a purpose, like why am I, what am I supposed to do? And then you go back to the 7-year-old little girl and now you're here sharing your gifts.
Yeah, exactly. And you see,
That's
I got
beautiful.
this huge smile on my face because I'm
Yes.
living my purpose.
Yes.
It is a beautiful thing. I want everyone to find their purpose.
Yes. I'm
You know,
witnessing it. And that's beautiful seeing you every day,
thank
and
you.
seeing your beautiful smile. Now let's go back to when you felt lost, just to help some of our audience that might be struggling through that process where they feel I don't have my mom, I don't have my dad.
Right.
You how do you feel? You feel lonely? Was there loneliness? And
Yeah, I did. I mean, when I didn't have my mom around, my mother, she did die when I was 7. Um, but I, yeah, I felt lost. I felt lost for a long time in life, right? Because I mean, there's a lot of struggles and life struggles that really everyone has gone through their struggles, their times, and but you know what? In the struggles, I feel like that's really where you can find yourself. So even now, I look back on some of those struggles, and that's where really I found my purpose, my strength. Like
Hmm.
it's really in how you look at it. I used to look at, oh, I lost my mom at the age of 7. Oh, my dad is no longer here either. Well, oh, woe is me. I played the victim mentality, right? But now I look at it, I framed it a different way. Like I remember my mom being sassy. Like even though she was sick, she was sassy, right? And so maybe that's where I get my little, I don't know, I think I have a little sassiness, a little energy.
Uh, it's
Maybe that's what,
beautiful.
thank you. Maybe that's where I get it from. So it's even though she's no longer here physically, she still lives. You know, energy never dies. So that little sassiness, that little Val, get up and go, that don't quit, don't give up. You know,
Yes,
it,
yes.
it 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 gave me that resilience, you know,
I, yeah.
and I thank my mom for that. You know, that's a legacy that she gave me, you know. So it's
Yes,
a beautiful thing.
you get to honor her because you
Exactly.
think of her.
And my dad too. And my dad too, because my dad went through a lot of things. You know, he was a Vietnam vet. Now I'm really aging myself. But he had a steel plate in his head. He stepped on a booby trap in Vietnam. And I used to look at my dad in awe because he was very intelligent. He was always taking notes, studying, doing things. And I said, you know what, Dad, you were strong too. I thought it was just my mom that was strong. My dad was really strong. Both parents were strong. So even though they're not here anymore, they live in me.
Yeah. Yes, that's beautiful. That no, that is beautiful because sometimes we can go down to lonely road and it fulfills some of our psychological needs, but it doesn't truly serve us. And as humans, it's okay to feel lonely, but it's like we have to decide, well, for how long are you going to live in that lonely
Exactly.
road? Because you need to get out.
That's
So
right.
that's beautiful. Now let's go back to your business and let's see what are some of the challenges that you see this your clients dealing with.
Okay, so like I said, they do come in. They know that they need to detox. They need to get those toxins out of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the underlying is they've got a lot of stress in their lives. They want to relax. They just want to feel good because you do feel a difference. You feel it's very relaxing what goes on, and they're like, oh my god, I feel so good. But under the underlying thing is yes, they have stress. It's, you know, maybe they are thinking about something that happened with their parents, and maybe they are going through, oh, woe is me. And if you stand in that pattern, you know, what I always tell people, what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And so that becomes your reality. And so you get down, that energy goes down. You look, your whole life is based on our thoughts and our minds. So you stay at that negative vibration. And you know, that used to be me. It was always woe is me, woe is me. And so yeah, that's like the most frequent underlying thing that happens. But when they get around me and I give them just a little bit of what, just a little bit, they perk up and their whole disposition changes. So it just makes it very, and I, you know, I give them a few things that I've learned and that they end up taking back home with them and practicing those things, and it makes a difference.
Well, what are some of the techniques we can share with our audience today that, whoever is dealing with stress right now, like, and they don't know how to shake it off? How could we advise them to begin to
Well,
shake it off?
there are many different things you can do. One thing I'll tell you for me that really changed it around for me was a couple of years ago. I started what I call a gratitude journal, and I started journaling every morning. So instead of thinking about the problems and what's going wrong, somebody said, I heard it somewhere, and they said, "Why don't you write down 10 things that you're grateful for?" And at first, it was, I had to kind of think, well, I can kind of see, and I can see the light coming through my window. I would, but that if that was it, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And then it would be other things, and I started just listing stuff. Then things would start happening to me, and I would look for things to happen that I could be grateful for, so I could go back the next morning and write those things down. But what it was doing was, instead of me getting up in the morning and thinking about problems, I was thinking about what I was grateful for. And I kept doing that. Like I give people a 30-day challenge. Do a gratitude journal every morning for 30 days and see what happens. Because at the end of that 30 days, it'll be before the end of the 30 days, you will change and your whole outlook will change. And so just by writing that down, I call it the creative gratitude journal process. And then there are
Yeah.
other things that I do as well. Uh, the special sauce, I call it the special sauce. That's basically your mantra. So I walk every morning and I'll say that mantra. I said it, earlier today walking.
Hmm.
So that's something that kind of primes me,
Hmm.
and it's wonderful. Of course, I learned that through neuroencoding, which has been phenomenal for me, and it's wonderful. So those are
That's
some of the things. There's a little bit
some
of the
of,
things that I do.
yeah. And I want to add to what Valencia is saying about the gratitude, because whenever we are in a state of gratefulness, when we're practicing gratitude, there is no room for worrying. There is no room for fear because you are grateful. It's like an antidote of did I say it right? Antidote.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
antidote.
you.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like the
to
cure.
Yes, yes. It's like taking your
You keep doing it.
ibuprofen. Take it. Yes.
Hmm.
It works. I have an accountability friend that each night she lives in Switzerland. So she messaged me at the end of her day, her gratitude, three things she's grateful for. And I'm supposed to do the same thing. And it's good because that's what I think of it. Whenever she messaged me, I'm thinking of gratitude. When it's time for me to message her, it's my end of my day. So it builds that. And I wake up in the morning, like you were saying, and it's like, okay, like what am I grateful for? Did I message her or do I message her in the morning? But I'm always now trapped in that gratitude, three things I'm grateful for that I have to share with her.
Yes.
So anybody that is listening to us, if you have an accountability friend, family member that you can message them, text them each day, is like, hey, at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, this is what I'm grateful for. If you're
Yes.
shy, if you're not there yet, then just write them down, and
Yes.
you'll begin to program your nervous system, your mind, your heart to focus on like things that we're grateful for. And we'll have so
Yes.
much, so much
So much fun.
beauty, yeah,
Yes.
and fun as well, yeah, and
Yeah. It's a
that we
beautiful
can.
thing. My journals are my favorite things. Like, so you said I didn't have an accountability partner. Like I have a dog,
Ah,
but my
you can still
journals
love
have
it.
really become so important to me because it's so this gratitude journal that I have, it only has positivity in it. It only has things that I'm grateful for. And so I can go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and I can see what was I grateful for because it's permanent. You see, the writing doesn't go away. It doesn't, your memories can fade away, but the
Mhm.
writing is there. So just think of what great energy that those journals hold, right?
Yeah.
So the physical aspect of that journal is a beautiful thing. What it does for you mentally, especially in the morning, first thing, writing those things down. What are you grateful for? And making yourself, putting that in your subconscious mind and thinking about this is what I'm grateful for. And it really does make your whole day. I mean, of course, we have ups and downs during our day, but
Mhm.
it really primes you. It puts you where you want to be. It puts you in control. Instead of being a victim, I started becoming in control through using that gratitude journal. And it's like you're filling yourself up. And the more you do it, you're right, Paula, it gets into that subconscious mind. And now people see, I used to frown all the time. Now people see me smiling all the time.
Yes, yes.
It's because I've been working on myself. For real, y'all. I've been working on myself.
Yeah, and you mentioned a mantra, and I'm gonna be like, for those out there that you're like, a mantra, and yeah, I was right there with you all. I was like, a mantra. I was like, what is that? And it's a phrase that you say to yourself to remind yourself who you are. And as I am learning more, then I was just talking to my husband about it. Well, what it is like, is is connecting with God, and it's like, okay, you created me. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
going back to that special space, and you're like, God created me. You know what I mean? It's like He gave me the ability to
Okay.
walk. If you're able to walk, He gave you the ability to have hands. If you have hands,
Yes.
it's like you begin to like reconnect with your Creator, because we get trapped into our everyday life, our stress, our worries. What we have to cook, the laundry we have to finish by the end of the day, we have to clean the house. We have a lot of distractions.
Hmm.
So a mantra is a phrase that you can remember and remind yourself who you are. And you're
Yes.
talking about, asking God for a purpose. Well, to me, a mantra is like reminding that I am His daughter, and He's trusting me to be here. It's
Right.
like, is that special time for us to like, okay, I matter.
Yeah.
Like, I was created, I'm here for a purpose. It's like, it's that time for you to reconnect and remember that, remind yourself who you are. So
Right.
I just wanted to share that, because I didn't know what a mantra was
Right.
years
Well,
back. And
a mantra too for me is it's a creative thing too, because it's not only who you are, but you can your mantra. My mantra is I'm talking to my future self in my mantra, and I'm calling myself, my future self, out as though they're in the present right now. So I'm creating myself. Does that make sense? I'm creating myself
absolutely,
in my mantra,
yes.
and I, and I'm putting it in the present tense. And this works with weight loss. I've done it with weight loss. I used to have a picture of. I used to have a huge stomach. Okay, and I remember putting a picture of someone with a skinny stomach, and I just put it on my wall, and I would just see it every day. And it was up there for a long time, and I would forget that it was up there. But that went into my subconscious mind. And I always talk about how my waist is kind of cinched right now. But you can design and create the life that you want. You really can. And it starts with that mantra. That mantra is a great start, I would say, because you can say, I am blah, 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 you know?
Hmm.
And so it's not only remind yeah, and God, He wants the best for you anyway, right? So whatever it is, yeah, it's also reminding yourself of who you are, you understand, and what you're made of. So
Yes, that's
amazing.
that's beautiful. Yeah, it pulls you back, where it's like, okay, wake up, wake up from the stress, wake up from the worry. So,
Yes,
yes. Okay,
yes.
now, I haven't had the opportunity to work with clients that are dealing with uh, overweight. So, could you share with us, like, what are some of the strategies that you might use? How do you help them to begin to lose
The
in
weight
the
loss.
journey? Yes, in the journey
Okay.
of weight loss.
So, you know, definitely, I think most everyone knows how to lose weight, right?
Yes, yes.
So, and a lot of us are getting ready to get ready to get ready, and you think, well, it's something that I want to do, but mentally, they feel they have to get themselves ready, right? So
Hmm.
it is physical to lose weight, but it really starts here mentally, and that's where you have the long lasting weight loss, and when you believe that you deserve this body that you want, okay, or that you feel is
Hmm.
going to make you happy, right? or you feel
Yes.
that you deserve health. So, of course, we detox, right? There's a tea, and there are other things that I have that I use to promote that, which is natural. It's great for the body. So they do start, feeling better with that, right?
Hmm.
But when I'm coaching a client, a lot of it, a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is mental. So we do things like, I ask them questions like, I want you to get your journals out. I want you to write down all the wins you've ever had in life. And they're like, what? Yeah, all your wins, WINS. Because what happens is we forget. We feel like, oh, woe is me, or we have a tendency to focus on our problems or what has gone wrong in life, and we forget the wins. We take for granted the wins. But I have them go back and I have them write those things down. I mean, fill the page up. And that changes their state right there. That gets them going. Oh yeah, I did this and I did that. And so they have all of these wins, right? And
Hmm.
I'm really just working on their minds, and I'm working on them changing their states, changing your state. Because I tell people, when you're high, and I mean high, not on drugs or anything, like high, when you're thinking highly of yourself, when you're high, you can fly. But when you low, your destiny, you will blow, right? So it's all about being here. And I tell people it's up to you to make yourself feel good. It's not up to anyone else.
Yes.
Don't put that on your husband. Don't put it
Yes.
on your kids. You're not making me happy. They're not supposed to. They trying to make themselves happy too. Okay.
Hmm.
You gotta do it for yourself. That even really comes back to living your purpose and living your truth, your truth. You have got to make yourself happy and don't put it on anyone else. Because when you're feeling good, now you can do all kinds of things. Possibilities are endless. So it's up to you. And if you can change your state, if I give you the power to change your state to where no matter what's going on, right? You can
Yes.
change your state and you can start feeling good. Even if it's just for a moment, you can start feeling good. And the more you do it, the more you're going to feel good, and you're going to see all of these opportunities and things come your way. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. So you will start believing in yourself. If you felt that you couldn't lose weight, you felt like I've been this way for 30 years, Val. How am I going to change? I'm telling you, you can change. It's only because you've been thinking at a certain level all this time. But once you change that level and you feel like you have control of that level and you don't let anything outside of you control that, like, isn't it crazy? Sometimes we think we let circumstances and things outside of us control how we feel about ourselves. Isn't that crazy? That's really crazy if you say it right out loud. We should be controlling. It's all about the inside. You got to control how you feel on the inside. And I tell people, you have the power, and I teach them, you have the power to change your state. As I'm changing, it's not theory. I'm doing it for myself too, constantly. Okay, so yeah.
That's beautiful. Yes, because I think, like you mentioned, they have to feel like they're worthy of it. They have to feel like, I deserve to have a healthy body. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's an association the you help them see, that they deserve it. It
Yeah.
and it is within them to get it
Yes.
done. And
Yes.
people have done it before. Uh,
Yeah.
so here we go back. Like, I'm just thinking from a personal experience.
Right.
Uh, is we go through a storm of stress. We go through a storm of, there's a change in our life, and sometimes change. We've been programmed that change means you have to be fearful. Like, there has to be fear and of the unknown, because our certainty has been shaking. So I go to food. I do. I'm not overweight, but
Yep.
it's my to go place whenever I'm dealing with something is like
Right.
I begin to crave things that I don't usually eat. So it is good for us, like, you talked about a mantra, and it's just remind you who you are. So it's good for all of us to adopt strategies and techniques that we can use on those times where are not as certain, they're not as pleasant, and it can bring us back to, oh, like Valencia was talking about, like whenever we think high, then we can
Yep.
fly. So so, like, yeah, it is tied up into like what we do every day,
Yes.
because it's like being able to go back to that state where we are in control,
Right.
and
So
nobody else is.
that's right. And so, like a big revelation for me, I, I could look 10 years ago, even maybe 5 years ago, I would have told you there is no way that I can control what happens to me. There's no way that I can control. What are you talking about? Control my state. What are you talking about? I was the type of person where life, it would just come and I would deal with it. Okay, that was me, right? Because no one ever said, or I never even thought that I could. I didn't know about these different states. I didn't know that I could control my state, right?
Mhm.
But once you become aware, just open, just being aware, you can control your state, and that it's not up to anyone else to make you feel good, and that it's
Mhm.
okay. And I'm really talking to the moms out there, right? Because I know moms, you know, we do everything for everyone else, right? And we put ourselves last. But I'm asking you, just like if you're on a plane, right? When you're on a plane, you're sitting down on a plane, and they get up there and they say, if we should reach turbulence, that air mask is going to come down. Who does it say put the air mask on first? Does it say put it on your child? Even though you love your child. What about your husband, your man? No, it says put it on yourself first. Save yourself first. So when we take time out, doing things for ourselves, making ourselves feel good. If it's I gotta get my nails done. Like my good friend of mine, she said, "Girl, come on, let's go get our nails done." I'll get to the point where I get so busy that even myself, I will be like, I know I need to get my nails done, but wait, let me just. She says, no, 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 no. We're going to get our nails done. And after the nails were done, do you understand? I felt so good about me when I looked down at my hands. That's just my thing. I like my nails done because it makes me feel good, not because I'm trying to impress anybody, but I know the importance that I have to feel good, and I'm telling that to everyone else out there. You have to make it an importance to feel good, because now when you feel good, you can do things for other people.
Yeah. Your
You
love tank is full, so then you're able to share.
That's right. Self
Yes.
love is the highest love. So you have to fill yourself up with love, and then guess what? Everybody's getting the overflow. They're not getting in your cup.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting you
And
got they get the overflow. The kids get the overflow. The husband get
yes.
the overflow. The boyfriend get the whole overflow. They don't get inside your cup. You got to fill that up.
Yes.
So
And
you
it's
ask
okay to
yourself,
say
how do you
no.
do it? Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, like you said, you have to ask yourself how what fulfills me, because what I do might be different than you do.
Right.
So if we're all unique, and it's okay to say no.
Yes, you cannot say, listen, you cannot say yes to everything. That, you know what?
Yeah.
That goes back to the part your purpose in life. Like it's so important. And if you don't know, for so long I did not know my purpose in life. But I started asking God, God, why you got me here? Why am I here? You know what? I had a pastor one time. He said, you need to ask God questions. I was raised in a church where you don't question God. You don't question God, right? But my pastor said, ask God questions. It's almost like you, your parents. If you have a question about something, wouldn't you want your daughter or your son to ask you a question just for clarity? So it's okay to ask God questions. So I asked God question, what's my purpose? Why you got me here? And he showed it to me. He showed it to me. And so, yes, you got to fill
Yeah.
yourself up with love. And everyone
Yes.
else is the overflow.
Exactly. And this applies to the workplace, because it can be stressful. Sometimes we go to the workplace and we already have a stack of this much, like you might be dealing with a divorce, you might be dealing with a house payment, you might be dealing with your car payment and so much more, and illness in the family. So we come to work already with a chunk of life
Things to get.
worries already. Yes. So it is within us to like simplify our life.
Yes.
Because life,
Yes.
in reality, life is simple. Life
Right.
is simple. If we begin to see, okay, how can I solve this problem by step 1, 2, 3, and 4, instead of like overwhelming that it's just huge,
Right.
but it's like using the strategies that is going to release your stress. Okay, you have to pour onto you first before you can attack and
That's
pour
right.
love onto others. Attack the problems, attack the stress.
Yes.
So okay, we only have about 5 minutes left. So self esteem really quick, it ties into what we're talking about, right?
Right. Self esteem
it,
is very important. To me, that self love that we were talking about is a part of the self esteem.
Definitely.
Because when you start loving yourself, even if it's just a little bit, and then you just be consistent with it, you're going to start feeling great about yourself. You're going to, because listen, if you don't love yourself, I've always heard, well, how do you expect anyone else to love you, right?
Yes.
Loving yourself on a real level. Do things for you. It's okay. And once that love starts coming up, that esteem is going to start coming up. When you start digging deeper and finding out exactly who you are and what makes you tick and what you like, and you say it's okay, and then you're going to understand how that bleeds into your whole family, into other people, you know?
Yes. And what I've been discovering is also self-acceptance. Self-love is like accepting your traits, accepting who you are, as in, I'm not okay with this. What I mean? It's like there's something that is like, I'm not okay with this. It could be like your ancestors, it could be like your grandma wasn't okay with it. Or sometimes we deal with, well, my grandma's really good with flowers, but I can keep a flower alive.
Right.
So, well, I can accept that I'm not good with flowers. It's like that
Yeah.
self-love is like, I'm aware of it and I'm okay with it. But you know what? I am good at baking. You know what? I am good at cooking because my mom taught me.
Yeah.
Or we're not perfect and we're not meant to be perfect, but it's like self-acceptance is like, I'm not good at this and I don't
Right.
want to be. Or you know what? I'm not good at that, but I really want to learn and challenge myself. It's like that's
Yeah.
part of self love as well. Like
Yes. It
accepting that,
is.
yeah, like honestly, I can't keep a flower alive.
Right. You got
Like
to understand.
I
Right.
can't.
Right. But that's okay. Just because grandma was able to do it doesn't
Hmm.
mean you, and it's okay because you have other gifts and talents to give to the world that your
Yes.
grandmother didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's what makes the beauty of everything.
They were all
The
different.
beauty. Right. God made you exactly the way that you're supposed to be. You have your own gifts and talents that the world needs. And it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be like anyone else. Like Paula, I give it up to you doing these interviews and things like that. I mean, you're fantastic at it, right? So,
Thank you, friend.
not everyone can do that. And it's okay because
Yeah.
there's something else that they're great at too.
Yeah. So where can we find you? We have about like 1 minute left, but where can
Oh,
we find you? Please share
time.
your website.
Okay, time went so fast, but they can go to valdantzler.com. That's my name, VALDAN, T like Tom, Z like zebra, LER.com, valdantzler.com, and find out more about me. And I would love to for you guys to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on there as well.
Yes, find her on social media. She's always posting videos, big smile, always great information to share. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you
Thank
all for being
you.
here, listening to us. Yay! I hope
Yeah,
you found an aha moment, a phrase, something that you can adopt into your life just to improve your life, to make your life brighter. Because life is simple. Somehow we as human we complicate it, but uh, we have to find the beauty in it and be grateful for it. Thank you so much. This show can also be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out the spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you and blessings to you all. High five, Val.
high five.